We're good? All right, so start standing. Hi, Jean. And I just want to do a little different warm up. Oh, a little different warm up. So it's kind of Tai Chi-ish. And you're going to take your feet just a little bit wide and you're just going to go up, breathe in and out. So it's still this warm up, but it's a little bit more Tai Chi-ish. I just made the legs a little bit more squattish, but just inhale up and exhale. You might have an image that you are in water and you're just floating. And I know I'm going a little bit fast for Tai Chi, but that's okay. We're just going to do some, actually feel it through your fingers too. So your fingers are in a wave, your arms are in a wave, your legs are in a wave. And then we're just going to go out like a little bit wide and inhale and exhale and let even your fingers just kind of notice you're bending your knees, you're moving your shoulders, you're letting your wrist have it. Breathe in, breathe in. One more, like this. And this is kind of like hug a tree. So you're just going to do a little hug. There's a tree in front of you, and you're just bending the knees. You're getting some blood flow in the body. The ankles are getting some flexibility, and you're opening your arms like you're opening your heart here. But then you're closing your arms circularly like you have a tree. Add the breath. Let the breath be part of it. So inhale, open your heart, and exhale. One more, just a little warm up. And then imagine there's this moon in front of you. Now arms are gonna switch places. So you see how the right arm, I'll say here, is low, and then the right arm here is high. So the arms are switching places. Imagine that you're just embracing right here, the moon. So you have this circle or this sphere right here. And don't worry, there's no wrong way. Just sort of soften everything. You might even imagine a moon. Feel that soft roundness. It's not a harsh linear. And it's just a little movement with the legs. So breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. One more. Circle. It's kind of like that hug a moon, but hug a tree right here where you open, but then you circle the moon. And then we're just going to keep the right leg and we're just going to do a little back and forth. So we're giving the right leg a little energy more than we were. Keep going. I'm just going to take this off so that you can see a little better. Don't worry about it wrong or right. Just kind of flow through your fingers. And the main thing would just be make sure because we're bending a little bit more in that leg, just make sure it feels good. You're sort of pushing and pulling away. And then we're going to do it one more on the other side, or one more side. So go, the left leg is sort of in a lunge, a little bit of an angle. Flow through your fingers and just enjoy. Breathe in and out. Just a little sort of like based on Tai Chi movement to change things up for us. Breathe in and then out. There you go. So just notice how that felt. Now we're going to do a little bit more classic, kind of like Pilates. I need to tilt my screen up. I can see that my face is just out, but keep lifting your heels and lift your arms. Go up and down. Now inhale and up and down. Breathe in and up and down. And two more. Now your ankles, your calves should feel like they're waking up even more. Your feet and up. Now you can hold on to a foam roller or a wall, but we are going to wrap one foot behind and you're going to lift up 10 repetitions on one foot. If your toes are sensitive, because we tend to lose flesh underneath the metatarsal heads, you can, like if your bones feel like it's too harsh on them, you can get on a couple of mats, fold up your mat. We're going to take 10 on the other side. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just keep the breathing and the jawline parallel. We're going to do a second set of that 10 and 10. The modification would also be that you just put both feet down, and the single is definitely harder. We're trying to get those calves stronger. Hips are level. And we're going to do 10 on the other side. Good, hold on to something if you need. I'm holding on to 2 things to demo because I don't want the roller to block my feet so I can show you what we're doing. Hips level. Now I'm going to take a 3rd set. And again, if it's too hard, the modification would be that you do both feet at the same time. Up. Each toe has equal weight. So you're not letting your pinky toe have all the weight. Breathe in and out. We're going to do 10 on the other foot, of course. 10, and just have one foot wrapped behind the other, just off the floor, out of the way. But I'm holding on because we want to work on the toe heads evenly. And really good. And then you can use that if you need. We are going to take a little bit of ballerina move. So it's also called Pilates bar or standing Pilates. You can point and flex the foot. So I'm lifting up the leg, I'm lifting up the arms, but you can add a little bit more work with your foot as you get used to these moves. You can point, flex, point, flex. That way we're helping those muscles that prevent shuffling, that help promote balance. We're going to do 10 on the other side. You're going to point, flex. Really point, flex. Notice how tall your spine is. It's not rigid, but it is erect. 5, it's tall. 6, the hips are balanced. They're not kicking out like this. 9. Now inner thighs. We are going to open up the arms a little bit. Good. And flex. And point and flex. So we're working the muscles around the ankle. When you're at the beach, when you're hiking on a mountain, when you're walking on a fire road that isn't perfectly paved, all these little muscles are helping us balance. So we're keeping them strong here. Now we're going to go the other. And point and flex. And point, and notice how your neck does not have any tension when you lift the arms. Full breathing. Good. The glute is working to keep you balanced. Now we're to the side, so I actually need to move this a little bit. So to the side and let your arms go with you. I've got an externally rotated arm position to keep the shoulders open. See if that works for you. 6, a little bit of a rib tone here, or ab tone near the ribs. Try the other side. This oblique you feel right here when you lift. Feel that tone. Good, feel this tone. Good. To the rear is our last. So there is a little pitch forward. We're going to take 10. You can point and flex. Point and flex. It's not going in the back. In other words, you're not letting your low back get more extended. 9. Now the other side, and we're working in all planes on purpose. We're trying to keep balance. Your brain used to, vestibular system used to balance no matter what plane you're in. And then take a moment, grab a sip. We're at a good place in between activities. So grab a sip. And we're going to take 5 circles. Think of you're at a ballet bar. So you can lift up. You can even add your arms. 2, 3. You can think tall spine. And we're trying not to touch the foot. Go backwards. If you have to touch, that's okay. Just tap, go on. Just keep going. Yeah, as minimally as you can. I'm going to do one more here. And then that foot comes down. Shift your weight. Breathe in. Point. Flex as you pass through. Point. Flex as you pass through. The other way. And Qigong, notice how we're mixing up the different methods of movement. So there's different types of activities in different cultures. But I'm listening to the longevity book by Dr. Peter Emmerich, how important exercise is preventing cognitive decline and changing it up. So we're doing good. Now find a comfortable place for your legs. So for example, Karen, if you need less turnout or more turnout, please honor your body. So right now for me in general, the cues are going to be that the glutes are heavy. That's all of us. That way your knees don't push forward. Your knees roughly line up with the second toe. The turnout amount, find the area that's comfortable for your femur, but it is probably going to be slightly turned out. And now we're going to add on. So just kind of flow through the fingers. Good. And you're going to feel your glutes, not the knees, if your weight's back. So it's like someone's got this chair behind you, this chair. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you can do more neutral, please do. I'm going to slow this down because I'm going to add on. So see how that is. Let me look at everybody. Okay, everybody looks good. I'm just going to demo. You can think about it. You don't have to. But I want you to know you can go down. One can go down. The human body is capable of going down and up. But look at what I did with the knees. Yeah, so so that's exactly right. I just want you to see what is your... And I'm not really doing a squat exercise right now. I'm just doing this range of motion. Heels heavy. I'm not thrusting my knees forward. Did you see that? I'm not like this. So it's just sort of a thing you might try. You know how we did the other ones where you stand up from the floor? Woo! Pretty good. Oh, that's awesome. If there were a block underneath your glute, yeah, and I'm not doing these like big, heavy 20 repetitions fast. We're just sort of functionally seeing what our body, because your body can do this. You see men in New Guinea doing this at 108 years old, right? Catching fish by the bay, by the water's edge. I'm so proud of you guys. Now, when you're done, I'm just gonna have us do an informal Qigong knocking on the door of life. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let that go, let that go. Well, that ought to make your day to know that your body can do that. We're going to take a sip of water, but we're going to come down more like a down dog. Hot dog, guys. Hot dog and down dog. Cheers. When you're coming down to down dog, I like to walk it out one knee bending at a time. If you have the urge to do both, some other kind of walk movement that lets you wake up, go for it. I'm going to offer now heels up and down. And I'm going to offer bend the knees, straighten the knees. Bend the knees, straighten the knees. And then just hold a down dog. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let your shins down and then do a little cat-cow, which your back is your focus here. Breathe in and exhale, curl, 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 and breathe in and curl, 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 and breathe in and curl, curl, curl. Now, once you're in a table, your gaze is probably between your hands. Reach your right arm and your left leg, and then lower those down while you maintain your table. Left arm, right leg. Maintain your table. Now the harder position here is to lift up your toes. No toes touch, no shins touch. The modification would be leave some toes down. Good. This is you want to feel like you're pulling your belly up. not letting the belly droop to the floor. That's also going to fire the transverse muscle of the abs and the multifidus, which are critical for preventing back pain. 4. So there's a little balance, isn't there? 3, 2, 1. Now, a child pose, but I'm going to pull the toes under. I want us to feel the feet getting a stretch. You can even push your hands more to the floor to get the feet stretched. Breathe in, heels straight up and down. Inhale. And then exhale, have a seat, legs stretched out. Make sure you have enough room around you. Bring up the arms and up and catch the sky. Breathe in and exhale, catch a cloud. So I'm cueing that we go through our fingers, and maybe you could think about how the Tai Chi was, or a wave. You go through your fingers, go up, go through and the toes. Now we can have the toes pulling back, so the toes get some attention, especially anti-shuffling muscles. Pull even the pinky toe back, because it's like there's something flat under your feet. Now hold a position, either side, doesn't matter. We're going to do both. Hold 10. I'm going to encourage some idiosyncratic movement. Make it your own. 5, 2, breathe, breathe, breathe. Now take another inhale, go up, 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 over an imaginary fence, catch a cloud, and then enjoy. Pull your toes back if you can add that cue. Stretch out through the toes, stretch out through the fingers. Oh goodness, so can you feel one side maybe a little tighter? It's okay if you want to hold that side another breath or two. Come up, and then I'm going to just make sure there's enough room. Open up your arms, rotate to one side, rotate to one side, rotate. This is called the twist. If you feel like your lower back's a little rounded, then just sit. I'm going to show you, sit on something so it's a little less pulling on your lumbar spine. We want it neutral. We want the normal curves in your back. You'll notice sometimes I don't say the word flat back or straight back. It's that you have neutral or normal curves in your back. Now we're going to change it up. So leave your hands down and just hold. 10. Upper back rotation is so important to keep the back from getting rounded, like the dowager's hump that you see in people. We don't want it, so we're getting a thoracic mobility. It's okay if you feel it in your neck gently and your low back, but your goal is upper back dominant. Go into an inhale to come back to neutral. Exhale, upper back dominant. You could even think sternum, because that's the other side of your thoracic spine. Sternum's trying to look to the sidewall. Breathe in and you feel this little length. Now we're gonna come back to center and open up the feet. We're gonna slide in the one where we rotate, and then we reach pinky to pinky. Let your pinky pull back to you. This one is called the saw. Rotate first, and then when you can't rotate more, reach pinky to pinky. Rotate pinky to pinky. So your pinky on your hand goes to the pinky on your foot. If you can, go past it without getting your hip off the floor. But you're just doing what you feel like is a good stretch. Pull your pinky toe back to you, pull your toes back to you. That way we're working those shin peroneal muscles, anterior tibialis muscles, all the muscles that keep our balance. Pull and pull. Now, let your feet go a little wider and open, so open Upavista Konasana, and then go down, either hands on the legs or hands on the floor. I like to release my neck. In other words, just to keep it true and honest, because it doesn't need to be there. I sometimes just shake it or the arm. So see what little tricks work for you, because we don't want tension in the neck. We want to let the inner thighs relax. Pulling the toes back is another cue that'll help increase the stretch. Breathe in, come back up. Good, guys. If you have a roller and you would care to move it, use it, grab your roller and put it on the front end of your, grab a sit too, put it on the front end of your mat. For swan. I'm having mushroom tea today. It's this really neat lion mane tea I found. So you're going to be belly down and your legs are long. Your elbows are wide like knives. Your pinkies go towards the foam roller. You go up with your inhale and you exhale down. You go up with your inhale and you lower. So at first you might notice you just go up a little, and then you may notice you go up more. You go up by your upper back, not your neck. Your neck just goes along for the ride. There's a little tone in your glutes and in your hamstrings. Breathe in. Now hold yourself up. Hold 10. Good, Jean. Good, Michelle. Good. Karen. Good, Betty. Long elbows. Betty, I think you have them. I just can't see on that part of the screen. Yeah, lower, and we're going to do 2 more sets. So what we're doing is building endurance. These are endurance muscles. You can come up to a place that's comfortable. Breathe into the part of your back that feels like the part where people would get rounded with that intervention, the upper back, the backside ribs. Breathe in. Lower, and it's almost like you're playing a game. How little tension can I have everywhere else? My neck and my jaw. So inhale, lift. No neck tension, but my upper back feels strong, and endurance is building in my upper back. Breathe, and my breath is going to the upper back. All right, we're going to lower, and let's take a child pose of some sort. It's puppy if you leave your hips in the air. It's child if you come on down. Just let your back be a little neutral now. Now we're going to put the roller on the other side. If you need a sip, please take it. By other side, I mean the shin side of your body, which will be a plank setup. You're going to have your forearms on the mat, and you're going to have your forearms on the mat, shins on the roller, but toe in so you're more on the muscle, not the bone, not the tibia. All right, if you would like to add on, just shift forward a little bit. You're still in a plank, but you're just kind of going forward in a tube and back, forward and back, forward and back. It's little, but see if you can feel your abs more. Neck is easy. Now we're gonna adjust your body so you're on a side plank. Staggered, I'm gonna do staggered on the foam roller because it's already a challenge to keep it balanced. If once you're up there you feel good and you wanna add on, you can stack 10, but that's gonna be a little more balance you have to do, which is fine. You just wanna know what you're getting into with the roller. 5, 4, I like to stretch out the fingers here. 3, 2, now lower the hip, other side. At first, you're gonna do side plank, and you can stagger the ankles so that they are a little more offering more balance. But then, if you feel like you want to add a stack, you can. 10. Your hip is up. That's more important. The shoulder blades down. That's more important. Reach through your fingers. Breathe in. Long, full breath if you can. You're sending signals of confidence to your body with these long, full breaths. Lower your hip. Good. Now, this one is more wristy. So if you would like to do a tabletop and your feet be on the floor, that's a fine modification. If you would like to add on your legs up on the foam roller and knees long. Hold 10, whichever one you're doing. Good, good. I like the shoulder opener on this too. Inhale. Exhale, lower, sit any way you want. Roll your arms in, roll your wrist in a little circle each way, about 3 to 5. Roll your wrist each way, about 3 to 5. Take your fingers forward and pull your fingers under towards your forearms. You can sit any way you want. And then your elbow is long. Here's Jean. Can sit any way you want. Whatever way you just did your hands, do the other side. So the other side of your forearm. And that's so good. It feels like when I stretch these that I didn't stretch it the day before, but I did. So it's like an area that needs it is what I'm trying to say. It needs it. This is sort of an informal just release, right? Like a Liberace finger spread. We're gonna do another forearm plank with our forearms on the front, the shins on the roller. So the roller's now on the back end, toe in. So you're on the muscle of the shin, not the bone of the tibia. On your forearms, you're going to, so the foam roller is a little closer to the knee side of your body. You're going to lift up your hips with a pike motion, like a dolphin. Lift up, like dolphin pose. Lift, 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 lift. Notice how your gaze changes, so your neck feels safe and not tense. 3, 2, 1. Now recover. You can actually leave your shins on the foam roller and take a child's pose here. This time we're going to do one called inchworm, and you're going to be bending your knees underneath you. So let your legs go long, and then you're going to bend your knees and then straighten, and then bend your knees and then straighten, and then bend and straighten and bend and straighten and bend and straighten, and 2 more inchworms, 1 more inchworm. And now recover somehow. Child pose or puppy dog pose. Nice. Now we're going to put our forearms out and we're going to take a diagonal inchworm, so the knees head towards the left elbow-ish and then straight and then right elbow-ish. And now forearms down. So take your knees to the left and then straighten, and then knees to the right and then straighten, and then knees to the left and then knees to the right, knees to the left, knees to the right. 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover for a moment. The next one is going to be a pike, but it's a slight diagonal. So let your forearms down, extend your knees so you're in basically a plank, but then you lift your hips a bit left. Now go back to plank. Lift your hips a bit right. Check your neck, make sure it's easy and not tense. Now up to 6 more. Please listen to your body. These are hard. 5 harder with the foam roller. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then grab a sip. Grab a stretch if you'd like of the child pose. Grab a sip. Cheers to all those abs. If you can sit on your shins, do. If you need to sit up on your shins, do. I just want to show you a little foam roller trick. If you are in your house running errands and then you see your foam roller sitting there looking at you, this is an easy but like easy setup stretch. I just like it. So let me show you how it is. Look at how that is. So it kind of helps you get in a shoulder stretch. That's the stretch. So just notice it's a neat little way. Yeah, look at how your shoulders are back, but you don't really have to work for it. So just notice this is just an easy little stretch. If you were standing, and if you can do it kneeling too, you can kind of do that sway. But notice your shoulders are getting a little assist. This is like one of those things you, I've probably heard about for keep your posture, like those little garments. But you can just grab your foam roller. Now we're gonna let that out. Awesome job. And then we're going to have a lie down, but put this roller horizontal on your mat at the foot end of your mat. Your head's going to be here. So lie back, put your feet on the mat, on the roller. Unless you're doing a modification, then it would be feet on the mat. Now your inhale, you're going to curl your spine up and down. We're doing roughly 10. I just want you to make sure you feel like, okay, I'm warming up my back. I'm not in my neck. I feel like as you go on, you feel more articulation. Usually low back is what people need more slowing down with. Pull the pubic bone towards your navel so your low back goes down. And curl. Now, what we'll do is take a hand to the foot and a hand to the foot, happy baby. Press the foam roller away from you a little bit so your knees are long, but do have some softness in it. Now exhale, lift up your hips and lower. And exhale, lift up your hips and lower and lift and lower and exhale up and lower and up and lower and up and lower and up and up and 3 and 2. Now see if you can hold yourself up for 10. Here we go. 10 and lower. We're going to try that 2 more times. So go up and hold 10. Feel your legs and your glutes. And lower. Now we're going to do that 1 more time for 10. Get ready. Exhale, lift. 10. Soft knee, neck soft, and lower. Now 1 big, humongous full body stretch. When you stretch, you can reach your fingers and your toes. You can shift your waist. I love the shifting of the waist. That's a good QL stretch. And then you're going to put your feet back on the foam roller. You're rolling your foam roller in. Pause. Okay, exhale, go up. Lift up your right leg as an add-on, and then go up and down. Now, can you lower your booty, touch the floor, and then up? Can you lower the sacrum to the floor and touch? That's a lot harder than just doing a hamstring stretch, than doing a little up and down. So try it, do the best you can. Now that foot that's in the air is going to go on the foam roller. The other one stretches out like a pencil. See if you can go sacrum to floor and then up. Sacrum to floor and then up. If not, if it's too hard, just do the best you can, maybe 3/4 of that range of motion. Now take a moment to stretch. I'm going to do the legs like a V. Pull your toes back. Okay, pull your toes back. 10. Now 1 leg up and 1 leg down, and then if you can add on, lift up your shoulder blades and then switch your leg. So I'm trying to get a hamstring stretch each time. And I'm trying to pull 1 leg down, but and an ab crunch. So a ton of things going on. Now we're going to take the hands behind the head. There's a little neck support now, and add a rotation. Still try to pull your toes back. Still, go for the hands, and still try to pull your leg up to a hamstring stretch. Now gently point your toes and keep them pointed for 6 more if you can. If not, just take a break, join when you can. Turn. I'm not doing this fast. I'm really trying to control the stretch. Now rest with your hands in the middle of your knees, hold onto your feet or ankles and do a bound ankle. This is a short inner thigh stretch. In other words, the muscles of the inner thigh that don't cross the knee, pectineus. And let your right ankle go to your left thigh and reach your hands through the window and either clasp your shin, if that doesn't bother your knee, or clasp to your thigh. I like to add a rock here. You may like to also add a toe and ankle roll or movement. 10. And the other side, reach your hands through. Move your toes, your ankle. And then we're gonna take one leg up, so it's in a hamstring stretch. Now you can hold onto your toes if you can hold onto your toes. Lift up your shoulder blades. One hand classically goes to the thigh. It's like a yoga pose actually, Utthita Padangusthasana, holding onto the big toe pose. But one hand could also be a modification behind your head. 10. Relax your head for a moment, switch up your legs while your head's down. Now exhale, come up in a ab crunch. Officially, one hand's on the thigh, or classically I should say, and left hand's on the toes. But you can modify as you need. One hand could be behind your head. You could also just reach to your calf. It doesn't matter really, it's the intention of abs working and neck being safe and hamstring getting stretched. Breathe in. And now relax again. Happy baby, hands to the feet. And grab a sit. We're gonna take a belly down position, but you do not need your roller. At this moment, you do not need your roller. So a cheer sip. And you notice that basically no matter what format we do, I do tend to focus on posture strengthening. Please listen to your body. If you're ever having a tender low back, you can do the hands and knees of this variation like a cat-cow and get a good workout. So for the same the upper back. This is Sphinx. Hold here or go up into a swan with your hands. So you find what you need, lift your belly. 10. So now we're not using the foam roller. Now we're not using the foam roller. Good. Now exhale, lower. Now your fingers are going to be beside your hip bones. Your hands are going to be beside your hips. Palms face the floor. Go up. Check your neck. If you can lift your thighs, lift those too. Notice there's no neck tension. I like to think of a rocket or your fingers reaching towards the toes. The neck is long. Breathe in. Okay, now lower for a moment. If you can add on the hands at your low back, either resting on one another or interlacing, go for it. Go up. If not, just do the earlier pose where the hands were beside, although everybody looks good. Yeah, good, Jean. Listen to your body. Barely tilt your head up, Miss Michelle. Just the tiniest bit. Yep, that tiny bit. Good. Relax. You can switch your fingers the other way if you'd like. Go up. All right, guys, push back. Child pose. And you can make your knees wide if you want to try one where you have a belly full diaphragmatic breath. And then lie on your side, please. And if you want a pillow, you can. But if you would like to just use your arm as a pillow, you can. This is a couple things, strengthening and stretching. So lift up your leg and really go as tall as you can, and then flex that foot down. So by tall as you can, I always mean in the comfortable challenge of your body. Really reach and then heel. Really reach and then heel. So right here, there's a nice enjoyable stretch, or I hope it's enjoyable to you. Reach, stretch. Reach, stretch. And I try to articulate through your foot. Yeah. We're going to be catching that foot, and I probably should have said if you need a tool, grab a tool. I didn't say it first, but grab whatever you can, because we're going to try to hold the stretch, and I want you to feel pretty comfortable. Good, Karen, thank you. I will try to cue that earlier next time so you have it handy and don't have to leave the position. The bottom foot has a little bit of a framing. It's going to help when you balance. Reach, and your arm muscle can help you, but you don't have any neck tension. See how it kind of gives in? This in yoga is called Anantasana pose, but we did the Pilates first to strengthen it. Now this leg is just basically out of the way. It is soft. It's going to try to push into the floor, but you relax it. Take the bottom leg and point it up and really reach through your toes, but don't give yourself a calf cramp, but lift up, use the inner thighs. This kind of inner thigh strengthening is a lot safer than when you get in the gym in one of those abductor machines that puts you in flexion. The body doesn't usually do that in life, so we're lengthening. Now pull the toes in a back position, pull the toes back. And we're gonna do those on the other side. So let your arm be your pillow. Reach your toes, your leg, just as tall as you can, but point, 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 flex. So I notice for me, if I don't pay attention at the top, my body would shortchange me in the range of motion I can actually do. Your body is meant to survive, and it has a tendency to do the bare minimum. So when you're exercising, you're just adding a layer of consciousness, and then you can usually get more. And that's how you keep those big flexibility gains and big strength gains in balance. So you're conscious here. I can usually go a couple inches higher. Breathe in. I'm going to do one more full one here, and then catch it with your tool, with your hand, any part of your leg that helps you feel stable, so you can concentrate on the stretch. Use your arm muscle, but not your neck. The bottom foot gently braces. See how it gives in a little bit. Now that leg is going to go in front of the other. It's just soft and out of the way. It's relaxed. It's going to try to press, but you're not going to let it. Now point the toes of the bottom leg up as high as you can. Feel that inner thigh. Notice how you can go a little higher than your leg tries to go on its own. So you consciously lift. There's a little tone right here, but there's no tension in the neck. Now flex the foot and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. And then take a moment to lie on your side. Right ankle to left thigh, but fall over until your foot's on the floor, your right arm's out, and you're in a teapot stretch for the hip and the back and the chest and the shoulder. Awesome. Right arm out, palm up. That left hand can help open up that knee more. Open up the right arm towards me, Karen, I think. Yeah, your left hand can help your knee, but it doesn't have to. So I get a really good low back and hip opener here. The shoulder and the chest feel nice too. Just see what you feel. Breathe in. And then exhale to come back and take it to the other side, ankle to thigh, and you can just fall over right away. In other words, your left foot's on the floor, left arm's out. Open up that knee, that thigh away from you. And take another inhale. Now as you exhale, release through a full body stretch and actually reach through your fingers and your toes too in your low back. We're gonna take our foam roller, guys. One of the things I've been working on is posture strength, but also posture releases of the front muscles. So take your foam roller. So I'm really glad everyone has their foam roller. Put your booty at one end and put your head at the other. And adjust so that you're really on it all the way. The arms are gonna be out like a T or a Y. The palms face up. So right here, just make your adjustment so you're not having to hold yourself up. Your possibility is that you put your feet together and let your knees open. This is bound ankle. If that feels like it's too much though, then just keep the feet like they were. And let your eyes soften. You're really trying to relax here, your shoulders, your chest, your mind. Scan your body and just with love, if you notice any tension, just let it go. Your body's just built to protect you, and when it senses a new range of motion, it tightens. So what you're doing is just saying it's okay, we're not doing anything aggressive, we're just going to let go, because you want to know how to tighten and contract just as much as you want to know how to relax. You want to know how to relax just as much as you want to know how to contract. You want to be the one controlling that. That way your body doesn't go into a fight mode or a flight mode when it doesn't need to. You need it when you need it, but when you don't need it, you consciously know how to activate or deactivate. Now really breathe into the body parts that we're trying to open, your chest and your shoulders and your upper back and ribs. You're giving them a new baseline of relaxation, a new baseline of release, of letting go, of openness. Now with ease and care, if your legs were out like bound ankle, gently put the feet back on the floor, slide off, and you may need a pillow for this for your upper back. We're gonna do an upper back release that looks like this. Now, it's up against, horizontally up against my most roundest part of my upper back. And you can have a pillow under your head. I'm gonna look at you for a minute. I have a sort of a thoracic concave spine anyway, and my head and my neck's really long and my head's long, so I don't really need a pillow. So I'm just gonna tell you that you might need one with that under your head and or underneath your booty. I'm gonna look at you though so I can tell. Yeah. Betty, that looks amazing. You notice how your shoulders and chest are in it? Michelle, that looks, I like it. I like so far so good. Karen, do you have a pillow, or you're gonna use your hands? And that, oh, there it is, a block, there it is. So the block's pretty good too, because you can have all these different angles. Now try to breathe into your heart. Your heart's open, like how we opened up with Tai Chi earlier. Your heart's open. Now, you can gently come up. One way is to have your hand help you on your head and then do like a neck crunch with your hand. The other one is to put your block foam roller underneath your sacrum. And the first modification is the feet are on the floor, knees bent, kind of like just a supportive bridge. The next one would be one leg long. And if you think you can go for two, you can go for two. I sometimes have to make another adjustment so that the foam roller is nearer my gluteal crease, the bottom of my booty, or the block is at the low part of my sacrum. So you want to be comfortable. If you can add on arms like a T, go for it, or a Y. And your low back psoas major attaches the lower body to upper body. It's also an emotional muscle. It holds on to emotion when we have a feeling of like of protection or freezing, it tightens. And it's also just so used in flexion all day when we drive, when we walk. So just really, this one sometimes takes a little bit more attention and time to relax. So relax it, but it's so critical for back care. So this ought to feel really good on your back, Michelle, Betty, everybody really. How soft can you be? How receptive can you be? Take another full breath here. Let that go. And the last one will be up on the wall or a couch or anything elevated. So just use the sacral block or use the foam roller underneath your booty so your hips are higher than your low back. That'll let some decompression. And now notice how your vessels just love the fact that the feet are higher. Breathe in. Now, as you're ready, release your block or your foam roller and slowly come up to seated position. Lengthen through your spine and put your hands at your heart. And we're gonna do Officially, it's called bhakti or appreciation meditation. It can be in so many areas of the life, but we're going to just focus at this moment on the body because it's what we were using. So I'm going to just offer some intentions and just let it resonate with you if it does, to the strength that you can accept it. I'm so grateful for my body. It does all of these tasks during the day that I don't even have to tell it what to do. It lets my heart beat, it lets my lungs get air, my bladder's working, my stomach's working, my thyroid, my brain, my arms and legs. I just tell it to do something and it does it. It's really an amazing vessel that I live in all day. Can't believe how incredible task it can do. It lets me do movement, dance, exercise, hiking, walking. I'm so grateful for my body. I'm so thankful that it works. For the most part, it does most of the things I ask it. I'm going to give it a lot of love and attention today. I'm going to really notice how many ways it's working to benefit my life. I'm so happy to have this body to live in. I'm going to bless it to the highest good. So when you're ready, just breathe into your heart and let that breath go to all the cells in your body. You're blessing all of the cells of your body, those incredible, miraculous workers of you, letting them have your blessing to the highest good. And with that, whenever you're ready, come into the room. And thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Have a really great day and weekend.